Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a second trimester video, basically just explaining and touching up on something about the second trimester, like tips, how my second trimester was, things like that in general, like midwife appointments, scans, stuff like that. So I did sit down and film this video without any plans, so I do go off the rails a few times in this video and I do lose point on something, but I'll edit it the best I can. If you do enjoy the video, subscribe. This took me a while to film. I just want to say thank you so much for nearly 400 subscribers as well. This time last month we were on like 200 and something, and yeah, I'll let you watch the video. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is going from your first trimester to your second trimester. That is between week 1 to 12, and I personally, it was horrendous till week 14, so a little bit into second trimester. But my first trimester, it was honestly not one that I want to do again. But yeah, so going from your first trimester to your second trimester, that is weeks 1 to 14 and then 14, so on till 27 weeks is your second trimester. So going from your first trimester to your second trimester, for me, that was honestly how I'm getting through pregnancy. Like the first trimester, I really struggled with keeping food down, eating, even sleeping, even just knowing mentally that my baby is okay. I really struggled with that because obviously you can't feel baby, so you're constantly just worrying. Second, I was just always throwing up what I was eating because morning sickness isn't actually morning sickness, it's all day sickness really. So the only thing I could really keep down was ready salted crisps, dry toast and ginger biscuits, and even then some days that would let me down. But as soon as I hit like 2 weeks after I hit the second trimester, I got to 14 weeks and my sickness went away. Fingers crossed, touch wood. Honestly, I had so many people telling me the second trimester is so much better than your first. Like, you don't even feel pregnant, you can run a marathon, blah blah blah. And honestly, I didn't believe them until I got to my second trimester and I was like, okay, so I don't feel sick anymore. My baby is finally starting to kick. He started to kick at 17 weeks and then you could see them at 18 weeks. And everything felt like amazing. Like in the second trimester, I don't want to get your hopes up because it's literally different for every woman. But for me, the second trimester was like the one that was like, okay, so I can actually do this. I am not going to fail at being pregnant, you know, like I can actually get through this. Like obviously I was going to have to, but mentally I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. So I finally felt like I was going to be able to. So yeah, that's like going into your second trimester. I don't know how to explain it. It's also when you start to feel like you're not just pregnant as well. Like when I got to 16 weeks, I went for a private scan to find out his gender, and then we had a gender reveal. And 20 weeks, I had my other scan. It was the anatomy scan, which went so good as well. So you get quite like few scans. Okay, so obviously in the first trimester, your baby goes from the size of literally nothing, like a poppy seed, to the size of a kiwi fruit. And then as soon as you get to your second trimester is when babies start properly like growing, and obviously your body is going to feel different. Like I did not expect how much my body was going to change this trimester. Like I generally thought, okay, so I'm quite a small girl, I'm going to stay small, I'm going to no no matter your body type, your baby is going to make you grow because he or she needs to grow. So obviously from a kiwi fruit to the end of the second trimester, which is a papaya. That is a big growth as well, because my son currently weighs 1 pound 14 ounces, I believe, from nothing. So that's a lot of growing in your uterus, and obviously your uterus is going to expand because baby needs to grow. Honestly, like, baby needs to grow. So it is like, I'm literally boobs and then a bump. Like, I'm literally boobs and then straight to bump. So it's like, when everything's being pushed around and everything's just being made room for my son, it is going to hurt a little. Maybe not hurt, be a bit uncomfortable. Like, I was laying in bed the other day, I was getting sharp pains in my stomach because of the womb expanding and making room and him moving around in there. But I was not prepared for how much. From I didn't start getting a bump, right, until I was at least 23 weeks, which is quite late. But as soon as I started getting a bump, I could literally feel my, like, insides, they were like cramping, and it was like it wasn't to the point where I was worried so I had to go to the hospital. It was like cramping, it was like a sharp, like, shock, like, on my sides here. And I was just like, okay, he's finally growing. But it was just a weird feeling. It was a weird feeling. Okay, so let's talk about feeling your baby move for the first time, because that is a magical thing. Like, I was not expecting how cool it is. Cool, is that the right word? No. Magical, let's stick with magical. I was around about 16 weeks when I first started feeling flutters, and it literally felt like I needed to fart. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It literally felt like I was going to fart. So, like, it's like a gas. It feels like a gas, but like a little popping in your stomach. Personally, that's how I would describe it. And it was like, and not until I got to 18, 19 weeks, that's when I felt like a little tiny, like, prod on my stomach. And I was like, okay, what the heck? Like, it's like a weird sensation. Like, it's really hard to describe unless you're pregnant and you have been pregnant and you actually know what the kicks feel like, because it's like a feeling that you've never felt before, obviously, if you're unless you've had more kids, but you know what I mean. So I got to 18 weeks, 19 weeks, and you could actually see his little kicks. And when I say little, they were very little, but you could see them. They're nothing like they are now. Now he's like a freaking, like, when he kicks, he could, like, move me. Like, that's how strong he is now at the moment. At 19 weeks, you think, shit, this is strong. Then you look back and you're like, no, he's got a lot of growing to do. You're being naive. But it's like, he likes to turn around and his head be down and then kick me in the ribs or kick me in the side. Like, in his last scan, he was like lying like he was on the beach with his knees up and kneeing me in the rib each side. What my ultrasound lady said. And honestly, the moment, like, from the first trimester, I had a lot of worry because obviously you get implantation cramps and stuff. So I was constantly worrying, oh no, is he okay? Well, not he, is the baby okay? Like, every time I'd get a pain in my stomach, I would constantly be worried, I'm not gonna lie. And as soon as he started kicking, it all just went away, all that worry, because I know he's okay now. So if you are still in the first trimester and you're a mum and you're worried about your baby because you can't necessarily feel them yet, or you're just worrisome like me, wait till your second trimester, and when you can feel them, you'll feel 100% so much better. Because I was worried literally every single day. And then as soon as I felt him kick, I was like, there's actually something in there. Okay. But it's just so reassuring when you feel your little one kick for the first time. I still don't know how to explain it. But, okay, so I thought I would explain like so I'm British, so this will be British NHS scan time things. But I thought I'd explain like what the midwives and stuff say on your second trimester, because I think I only saw my midwife twice in the whole of the second trimester, possibly 3 times, and I only had 2 scans, just about 3 scans, because I had one at 26 weeks, which was nearly the 3rd trimester, but it's still in the 2nd trimester. So with my second scan, they literally, it was the 20-week anomaly scan, and they literally check everything about your baby. They check if you, what placenta you have. So I have an anterior high placenta, which I'm so grateful for because it doesn't affect how many times I feel him kick and stuff. They check if it's healthy, if the blood flow is good with the placenta to the baby. They check literally everything on your baby, how big he is or she, their head, their skull, their back, their brain, their heart, literally everything you could think of, which really reassured me, like when I was finding out that he was like 100% okay. They also can tell you the gender, but they don't tell you 100%. They say the baby looks like he could be a boy or a girl. So that's why at 16 weeks we paid for a private scan, because I was impatient and I wanted to find out his gender, and I had a gender reveal. But they generally check everything. You've got to go with a really full bladder, which is kind of annoying because you sat there and you're like, oh, my little angel on the like screen, and then you're like, I really need a wee though. But no, it takes your mind off it, so it's alright. But it's like if you don't pay for a private one in the middle of that, that's the first time you've seen your baby since 12 weeks. So the baby would have grown so much, and it's like a big difference. Like I'll insert my 12-week and my 20-week scan photos, and they are honestly like completely different babies. Well, obviously not, but like they look completely different. And he looks so much bigger and shaped and not so much like an alien. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to like midwives and stuff, what like happens at appointments, what I can remember, because baby brain. So I remember the first time I went to the midwives, they sorted out my green notes. They asked me all these questions about health in my family and stuff like that, mental health questions, just in general, if stuff runs in your family, or you've ever struggled with anxiety or anything like that. They also ask you if you're diabetic or like anything like that, really. They ask you and they fill it in your green notes, or mine were green. I don't know if anyone else's were green, so when I say green notes, just know I'm referring to that. They also put in the baby's growth chart. They don't start that though until mine's starting at 28 weeks, which is weird. But yeah, my brain is so bad. He's just kicked me in the rib. He's like, Mum, hurry up and think. But then they asked questions to my boyfriend, who's the baby's dad. They were asking the exact same, like if anything runs in his family or stuff like that. They took my bloods for certain things, like, don't quote me on this, but like different like blood diseases, I think. I'm not 100% sure. It was a while ago now, but they took my bloods. Honestly, you feel like a pincushion in pregnancy, so be prepared to have your bloods taken and needles. second time we went to the midwife, they didn't really do too much. They just made me have a wee sample. They did the baby's heart Doppler thing, which was amazing. I loved hearing his little heart beating away. And that was about it. They measured my height and weight. And then the most recent one, I had a different midwife. Not a clue, but I had a different midwife. She basically did the heart Doppler thing again. She asked more questions. But honestly, they get repetitive until you start planning your labour and stuff, and then it gets a bit. And then I had 2 more, I had the whooping cough vaccine done at the hospital, and I had the flu jab as well. And yeah. So a few things I actually do want to talk about are stretch marks, weight gain, just stuff like that, like hair loss, just things in general like that. So I personally have had a lot of hair loss this pregnancy. Let me insert a picture here of what my hair looked like before, and then obviously you can see now, but it's like all snapped underneath, and I generally thought it was because I had dyed my hair so much, but my hair hadn't done anything when I had dyed it, so that didn't make any sense. And it turns out that I was actually anemic, and I've only just found this out at the end of the second trimester, and I've only just been put on iron tablets, but my hair and my skin is so much better now that I've been put on the iron tablets. But honestly, if your hair is falling out, or you feel sleepy all the time, or you feel like your skin is really transparent, or people are telling you you look really pale and stuff, just go get your bloods taken by your midwife or your doctor, and they will tell you if your iron is low. And honestly, people were telling me, and I was like, no way, like obviously I'm not gonna have anemia, like it's just pregnancy taken out of me. But no, I did have it, and it was causing my hair to fall out and look really unhealthy, and my skin to look really transparent, and for me to be sleeping all the bloody time. So if you do have any of those symptoms, please go get a blood test and double check, because it's really common actually in pregnant women. Okay, so stretch marks. Obviously everyone knows what a stretch mark is. I personally haven't got any on my stomach as of yet, but I haven't stretched that much. Well, I have, but I've only just started to, so there is still time for me to get stretch marks. So I'm not going to say okay, I haven't got them, because I have them on my underarm, I have them on the back of my legs, under my bum, and I have a lot on my boobs, but I don't have any as of yet on my bump, and I'm moisturising. But at the end of the day, stretch marks are genetic. So if you're worrying about getting stretch marks, like I was so worried about it, and I don't know why, because at the end of the day, it's not something you can prevent. You can try with oils and moisturiser, not going to be able to prevent them. So, because it's making my son, like that's all I can say, is it's making my son, it's doing amazing things, and like stretch marks shouldn't affect me, if that makes sense. I didn't get any I didn't get any stretch marks. And then when I started like putting on weight, because obviously you're going to be I started eating more in my second trimester. I started getting cravings. When you get cravings, you're going to want to eat your cravings, so it's inevitable that I was going to put on weight. So obviously stretch marks happen when you gain weight quickly. But honestly, all I can say to you, if you're worried about getting stretch marks, they are not the be all and end all. and everybody is beautiful. They don't define you, if that makes sense. And like, your body is doing such a bloody amazing thing. And yeah. Okay, so I quickly touched up on weight gain, but I just want to say I was a very underweight person, not unhealthily underweight, but I'd always struggled my whole life to put on weight or to stay a certain weight for a long period of time. And when I hit the second trimester towards the end, so like 18 weeks to now, that's when I've really started putting weight on my face and my boobs and my legs and my arms. Like, my arms were like proper twigs, like they still are, but they were even twiggier. And honestly, I thought the weight gain would affect me more, but I personally see myself as so much healthier and as of right now. And yeah, if you are putting on weight and it's because you're pregnant, don't be ashamed. Like, don't feel like you're growing a baby. But like, all in all, I generally feel like the second trimester I felt like I was myself again, which is like, honestly, I'm never going to be who I was before pregnancy. Obviously, like, I'm 16, I'm not going to be who I was before I had to mature because I'm having a little child. But this trimester has really helped me like think of who I want to become, who I want to be as a mum, as a person, because I felt like I could live again after my first trimester, because my first trimester I really felt like, oh, I can't go out because I'll be sick, blah blah blah. It's really like opened my eyes that pregnancy can be good and it doesn't have to be painful, and you don't have to feel lonely or alone or that you're doing it all yourself, and like you've got the whole world on your back, because you feel like it at times. Obviously, you're gonna have bad days, good days in your pregnancy, but it's all worth it when you get your little baby at the end, isn't it? Because when you get to the end of your second trimester, you've got what, like 13 weeks left, which is crazy, bloody crazy. I'm gonna have a son in 13 weeks or less or more, depending if he wants to be late. Okay, so fingers bloody crossed that this video edits well and I can actually end up making this video into something, because I generally went off the rails a few times this video, didn't stay on topic much. But if you learn, if even one person learns, or this helps even one person, then I'm glad I made it. I will probably make one of these for the third trimester, who knows, because I will have a baby at the end of that one. I'm going to definitely do what's in my hospital bag and stuff, so if you need help with that, watch out for that video in a few weeks. Getting warmer and stuff, watch out for my videos. And if you did find this video helpful, or you did just enjoy seeing my face, then subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys!